Hey guys, what's up? Shy Guy Reviews back at it again. Today is episode 15 of season 5 of My Hero Academia. Last week the episode got canceled, but here we go. So, first things first, we get to see Hawk, pretty much at the round table of League of Villains, except for he's not. He's kind of like the new recruit that they don't let on the plan, and they just, you know, send him out to do errands, like spreading the word of evil. And he's doing it through a book, which he also gave to Endeavor with highlighted passages that told Endeavor that something's gonna happen in 4 months. He needs to get people ready. A lot of people. There's a lot of villains. There's villains amongst the heroes, and he has to do something about it. Pretty much, that's all it is. We actually get to hear that they're gonna blow everything up in 4 months from Himiko. She really seems happy about this. We also get to see her see Deku, same as always. And we actually get a little bit of development here for Endeavor because we get to see that not only is he finally realizing that, he has to train these kids, right? He can't just train Bakugo. Not for the same reason, like all three of them came here. He was actually trying to leave the other two behind, except for Bakugo. I mean, not Bakugo, Todoroki. He wanted not to train Bakugo and not to train Deku. But after reading this, he decides, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna go back out there, and he tells them, you know what? You're coming with me. Meanwhile, the girl with green fire here, who works at the agency, is like, man, you two are gonna get left behind. He's probably only gonna take Todoroki. That's just how he is. And that's what he was initially gonna do. But he walks out there. He's like, I'm gonna train all of you. He's like, I need you guys to tell me your problems. Deku's like, I can't use much of my power without hurting myself. It's been a long road. I can do this and this and this. And he's going into the long, long breakdown of what he has to do and all these different things. And it's a general monologue we always see from Deku. I read through all of it. It's not actually that bad, but um, pretty much he just work on controlling. He has to be able to handle more of his power. It's pretty much just limits that he has where he can't use like up to 10 to 15% of his power, and he needs to be able to use much, much more. And adding on to this, we have the new Black Whip that he has that he also wants to know how to control. And Endeavor, after like whole 1 minute monologue where everybody gets lost, he's like, "Yep, got it. You need to be able more output done." And Fire Girl is like, "Wow, you understood that. Good job." Then we have Bakugo, who's pretty much like, I don't know what I'm missing. I've learned something that heroes need more than just power, and I'm here to figure out what I need to pass the number one. And these two things are very telling for Endeavor, because when Bakugo says that, I feel like it really does resonate with him, because that was his goal for most of his time. And he says he wants to pass number one a lot like Endeavor did. So it looked like it really did hit Endeavor hard. We also got a little flashback when Deku had mentioned, all of the struggles he's been having. Because Endeavor is like, oh, so you're one of us. And we actually get a little bit of a flashback to the video that everybody always sees with All Might, and where All Might's saving the person. Remember when Deku was in the chair and his mother, and he's like, can I be like that? And they had the whole crying session before Deku had his powers. And it turns out Endeavor was uh, picking up rubble off the floor or something. I'm not exactly sure what he was doing, but it looks like he didn't have full control of his power yet, working to try to get it done. And it really does show that All Might really was an anomaly. When he got All for One, he really just knew how to use it all. He didn't really struggle with it. And I think that that's very telling, especially when it comes to Deku, because throughout all of this training that All Might's given to Deku, a lot of it's been like 1-to-1. He's trying his best, but he doesn't have like that whole hard work thing going where All Might his heart is in the right place, but he was just gifted, right? And it really seemed to cause a big divide between him and Endeavor because of that. Because Endeavor is trying to reach this guy, and this guy is barely training at all. Meanwhile, Endeavor is like looking at all the aspects of his power, trying to adjust output to precision and all this kind of stuff. That's why I think it's so good that both Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki, who has a power similar to Endeavor's on top of the ice power, is here. Um, we also get a little bit of, again, the Todoroki with his dad, the interactions between that, where he pretty much just has to tell him, hey, I'm not here because I'm your son, right? You don't get to tell me that I'm learning Flash Fire. Cat, stop that. You don't get to tell me that I'm learning Flash Fire. I'm only here because you're the #1 hero, right? I want to see what you are as a #1 hero. And, Endeavor really takes this to heart. You know, he's not really looking at him as a father, more as like the #1 hero that can help him. And he's trying to use him, as he says. Endeavor's fine with that. He says, fine, I'll look at you guys as heroes from this point onward. And, he walks off, and he instantly takes off. He tells them, guys, you guys have to be alert. You have to know everything that's going on, and you have to be extremely fast. And all of us, me and Hawks and us in that agency, we have to protect and we have to fight at the same time. Some of the other agencies might do one or the other, but for Endeavor and Hawks, who seem to be like the top of the top, they go from place to place to place to place, stop crime, fight someone, stop crime, fight someone on their own, and they let other people clean up after. He's doing pretty much what Hawks used to, and this is actually really interesting because Tsukiyomi actually saw this previously with Hawks, but now we're seeing it with Endeavor. So Endeavor is taking off, and they're all doing things, and Todoroki is admiring his father, right, and his precision of using the fire quirk and the output and all this sort of thing. And he's like, "Hey Bakugo, did you see what he just did?" And Bakugo's freaking out, like, "Yeah, you guys are both copying me," and they kind of are. Bakugo really does pretty much fly the same way that they do. Then we come to a point where like Bakugo and Endeavor are talking. Endeavor is letting Bakugo know, you might be strong. You say you're strong, but at the same time, you have to be even stronger and faster because even arriving like a moment later, as they do after Endeavor here, can lead to someone's death as he stops the lady from getting run over by a truck. We then proceed to get a scene where Deku is holding the lady, like, "Are you okay?" And she's actually tearing the guy apart. But it's okay. Um, so pretty much most of this episode was just showing that Endeavor really is a hero, although he did not seem like it at first. But he probably is the hero that should be teaching these kids. I mean, he knows exactly how to get there because he seems to be one of the few people we've seen who reached it through pure hard work. I mean, a lot of people went through struggles, but they had their strengths. But in terms of using their quirk, um, using it, not finding a situation to make it useful, right, is very inspiring, I gotta say. It really does let you understand why Endeavor hated All Might so much, and he was trying so desperately to catch up to him. Obviously, it doesn't excuse the things that he's done, but, it really does put him in a different light. And I really do think Endeavor is probably, if you had a hero in the city, right, you would want it to be All Might or Endeavor, right? I would actually prefer Endeavor. Endeavor is a little bit more calm and collected, although he has a very fiery personality, we'll say that, versus All Might, who, he's a little bit more emotional. Um, but again, beyond that, we get shown that Endeavor is really just a great, great hero. And we end off the episode with that. The episode preview looks like we're going to be following Tsuyu and, pretty much, I think it's a dolphin guy again. Next episode, we're probably not going to see the three. We're not going to see Todoroki, Deku, or Bakugo. If we do, it'll be for a moment. But you know what, guys? Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. I hope you guys had a great time. Remember, don't die. It's bad for your health. And I'll see you guys next time.